Hey everybody, how's it going? Anyway, um, today's Labor Day, and I would like to wish everyone and congratulate you for having a good Labor Day. Wait, if you if you have worked hard, if you have worked hard, so uh, all right, so if you haven't worked hard, sometimes if you really not worked for a really long time and you should have been working, sometimes you're gonna have to work hard on Labor Day. That's what Labor Day can do to people. Um, if you believe that Labor Day is an independent entity capable of mind control, which it isn't, so it's not really possible. But here's my experience with Labor Day. Um, uh, I had worked incredibly hard for a year and a half. Incredibly hard, almost two full-time jobs equivalent. There was many days when I would wake up at 2:30 or 3:30 a.m. and do hard labor work, all sorts of work, finishing these floors with a friend, doing, just endless work. Until I just passed out from exhaustion, not literally, just fell asleep when right about when the sun was going down, or even well into the night, 19 hours a day some days. It was incredible the amount of effort I did for a year and a half. It was very difficult. Took a lot of willpower to make it through that and keep going when I did not feel good. I was heavier. I wasn't doing the things that made me happy. I wasn't as athletic or whatever. Um, and and I'm in better health now, but like I'm okay. I'm not like super perfect or something. And 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 So what happened was it was really stressing me to work that hard. And on the last day of it, it was, I think, the Friday before Labor Day weekend. I had worked. Excuse me. I had worked all day, 14 hours, something like that. And then I had to go over to my other house that was for sale, that I was buying so I could, that I was selling so I could get this house. And this computer was over there. And I had to edit a YouTube video for my YouTube page. And because I had to do one a week. And if you don't keep up with it, then it's like, something could go wrong. And I'd been working on it, the YouTube, so much in my any little spare time I had when I wasn't doing the tons of work to pay the bills, and it was like really difficult. And somehow I went over to that, all the way to the other house, did the video. I could barely function. Somehow I made it and finished editing the video and uploaded it. And I was like, I have got to get sleep. And I looked for my medicine, which I was taking a medicine at that time, like to help me with anxiety, and I was used to taking it so it would help me go to sleep. I couldn't find it, so I said, well, I'm just gonna try to go to sleep anyway. I went to sleep, and I woke up an hour later, and it was just awful. I mean, it was it was unbelievably bad feeling. I felt sick. I was sick with the flu because earlier that day I had the flu, and I was out in the rain throwing loads of garbage with who knows what was on it. Like, I didn't even know if I get to wear a mask that day, and it was because it was like raining, and I had the flu and I was working, and it was awful. I had to throw it down to make sure that I got picked up. Um, or got out of my truck or got out of the lawn, and I just had to keep working and working and working. There was like no end to it because I hadn't worked very hard for 10 years before that, and had to make up for it in that year and a half is really why I had to do it. But I still had to do it, and I made it up. I worked so hard, it was like as if I had a regular full-time job, or just about a full-time job, for the 10 years prior. I worked so hard, but it took a lot out of me. Anyway, in that last day, I woke up an hour later without the medicine. I was like, oh man, I was even worse. I was like way sicker. I could barely function. I thought I was going to die. Literally thought I was going to die after I had worked 19 hours that day. with the flu, and said I've got to make it back up the mountain. So I had to make it back up the mountain to this house, and somehow, and this road back then was not a good road. It was a 1.5 mile private road. It needed tons of work. You needed a 4-wheel drive or an all-wheel drive to drive the road. And if I had gotten stuck and it was raining out and it was dark, where you can't really see the road, it's like a mountainous road, country road, and so somehow I made it back. Somehow I made it up the mountain and made it to here in the driveway, in the complete dark out here for miles up there. And you know, people turn the light. I don't have many neighbors down there. I went up to the guest house. I'll just show you what I did. This was an amazing experience that happened. So came up here to the guest house where I was staying. I was still fixing up my house, and I had only gotten around to fixing this one up a little bit, and so I came in here at night. I somehow made it in. All my stuff was in here back then, and I went. There's a bed right here. I just fell asleep. It was all messy in here because I had been working so hard I could barely walk through the place. And I told myself, I am not going to work at all tomorrow, at all, no matter what. I'm going to take a day off, or I will die if I had kept working. So I didn't work at all the next day. I hung out in here, ate food, whatever was in here, kind of did whatever I felt like the whole day, and just, it was an amazing feeling of peace. An amazing feeling of peace. In here, out in these woods. And it was like I didn't have to work. For the first real time I could feel peace and happiness, like I was a child again. It was like unbelievable. I hadn't felt that good in many years, maybe since I was a child, out here in the woods. And I just kind of did whatever I wanted to the whole day. I said, I'm not even going to work on a YouTube. I cannot take that. That's work too. Couldn't do it. YouTube, no videos, nothing, just whatever I felt like. And I just relaxed, and it was like amazing. The peace that I felt here, it was just really amazing. And so the next day I didn't work at all either. I was still kind of sick, but it stopped bothering me. It didn't bother me because I finally didn't have to work, and I was like, this is amazing. And then I checked my YouTube page on one of those days on that weekend, and I took 3 days off in total. It was the whole Labor Day weekend, including the Monday. And somewhere on there I checked my YouTube page, and I was making like 1,000 times, no, it was like 20 times as much money as I was making, or 30 or 40 times as much money. I was only making like $100 a month, or $70 a month, or 100 something. I started making 2,000 something. That was the first time in my life that I started making a living on YouTube. It was unbelievable. After 27 years as a filmmaker and a musician, and working towards making a living at it. I could never make a living at it that whole time. And finally I made a living at it. It was unbelievable. And everything was okay. And after that weekend, I slowly had to start working and work a lot more. But that just the idea that I was actually making a living on YouTube was enough to give me that confidence and make it through the next round of work that I had to do to finish this whole house. Mostly, it needs some nice looking wood paneling, or drywall in here. That's about it, and a floor. But the house is pretty much. And then I would come out here and just have this like really just peace. It was amazing, and I didn't have to do any mean stuff or work or deal with people's meanness or any bad stuff, and it was just peaceful. And that's my experience about Labor Day weekend, and today is Labor Day. I wish you a great Labor Day, a good Labor Day. Okay, if you like this video, click like on it. Check out some more of my videos, my music videos. I use these drums and that amp for, and this brain with this funny haircut. It was more, I haven't fixed it this morning, but it was more like stylized and like a kind of cool looking model haircut before. But anyway, click like in the video, enjoy your Labor Day, and enjoy the story about Labor Day. I'm in better health, doing pretty okay these days, physically and mentally. I've gotten enough sleep and enough food and feeling good. You've ever heard those rhyme together? Okay, I hope you're having a good time in the nice weather. And I keep on making my rhyme. And I hope your kids aren't bedwetters when they get too old. I hope they stop that. And I hope they don't go out in the cold for too long. And I hope you'll be okay. And that's the purpose of this song today. Bye. This is a good Labor Day. Why? Because I like it. I love it. I don't want any more of it. Turn it off, please, before I keep on rhyming like sloth in slow motion on my knees. Wait, before that happens, let's go. Bye.
Just fine. Everything's just fine. Say I must stay true, yeah. It's alright.